What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. The starting lineups are just about out for this game today, to be honest with you. It's been a bit weird. Usually they get released beforehand where it's, well, not beforehand, but at least 15 minutes. So you can compile a graphic together, you can have a look at it, and you don't have to be rushing about and being like, what's going on? I have no idea. But we've got it on the screen there for you regardless. That is the starting lineup. I might actually just change the graphic for you and do it completely different because that is annoying me a little bit. But yeah, let us know what you think of that team. We're starting with Bayern Day in net. We have Yoro, Lindelof and Lisandro as the back line. We have Mazraoui, Eriksson, Ugarte and Dalot as the four. And then we have Anthony, Højlund and Bruno up top. I'm assuming, you look at those players, the profiles. Obviously, Bruno can play deeper sometimes, but Eriksson isn't going to play in one of those 10 roles. Anthony has been playing at wing-back previously, but then where's Mazraoui and Dalot going to play? Do you know what I mean? I know Maz has played as the right-sided centre-half, but you can't imagine Yoro anywhere else. So there's a couple of... It's obviously quite heavily rotated, in fairness. Eriksson, I can't remember the last time he started a game, to be honest with you guys. Please let me know if you can remember. I think it was still when Ten Hag was here, potentially, because everyone was talking about him being player of the season, and then he's literally not even got a game since. So make of that what you will. But, yeah, he's starting. You obviously have Manuel Ugarte. That's fine. His legs are obviously okay if he's starting this game again. Same thing with Bruno Fernandes, Dalot, the kind of usual ones. The Bayern Day, it could be a shock to a lot of people. We've spoken about him previously. Not getting enough game time. I think he's played 3 games in total for Manchester United. And he deserves more appearances. Now, whether I would have done it in a quarter-final or not, it's a bit like... I'm not entirely sure on that one. I think that's maybe a strange decision. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit of a hypocrite for saying that. But I do think that was a bit of a dodgy decision, but it's fine. Put him in there, see how he does, test the waters. If you get knocked out, there might be some criticism there for you, especially if he drops a stinker as well, by the way. So, Bayern Day starting in net. Victor Lindelof, he hasn't played minutes for ages either. I know he's had the odd bit here or there, but he's been injured for the majority of the season. We haven't seen any of him at all, and then starting him as a central centre-back, a very important role in Ruben Amorim's system, is a bit mad. I'm like you guys at the minute. There's a lot of people kind of react to it saying, I don't know what's going on here. It's a bit sketchy. It's a bit mad. Lisandro and Yoro, I have no issues with those. I have a couple of things with Lisandro that I've always mentioned to you guys before. But, yeah, Lisandro, left-hand side, Yoro, that's probably the most excited I am about this lineup, to see Yoro on that right side, see how he deals with the threats that they have. Obviously, I've not seen Tottenham's team. I'll get into that in a moment, but I'm presuming Son will potentially start. Kulusevski will float over. You've got a lot of attackers to deal with, potentially James Maddison. But like I said, I'll get into Tottenham's team, and then we can discuss the kind of individual battles and tactical battles. Because I'm pretty sure UTFR in the away end, big up yourself. Hopefully you enjoyed the game, bro. I'm pretty sure Tottenham will heavily rotate, and also they've got a lot of players out as well. So this could be a bit of a mad game, could be a bit of a basketball game. I'd imagine with him bringing in Eriksson and players like that, he wants control, but it's easier said than done when you're at the Tottenham Stadium. There's a few people that have some concerns about players starting consistently. I'm absolutely with you guys on that, 1,000,000%. Ugarte is one of them where I'm looking and I'm like, the guy's playing a lot, and not only he's playing a lot, the style in which he plays, we call him El Extintor on Real Reds Talk. That's because he's an extinguished shot, and he gets about putting fires out left, right, centre. His game involves a lot of energy. Likewise with Bruno Fernandes, right? So Bruno's played a lot of games. Dalot, Ugarte. Maz is one where I'm like, why is Mazraoui starting this game? Why on earth is Nasser Mazraoui starting this game? He was limping after the City game. In the mix zone, limping through. So obviously he had a bang, he's got a knock. And I don't get, sometimes players want to play, they want to put themselves on the line, they want to do it. I remember doing it with Marcus Rashford, who's obviously not a part of the team today, and we'll get onto those two in a minute. But I remember Rashford playing with like a fracture in his back and I just think it's stupid. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe he is actually fine, it was a little bit of a knock, and he's good to go. But you can't tell me he's 100% going into this game. He's definitely not. Surely you could have put Anthony at right wing back and brought in another attack. Play Xerxes as one of those, or play, Ahmad. I know Ahmad might have done him with the rest. I don't know. It's tricky. I'm not paid the big bucks to be a manager, am I? But I do think there are some legitimate concerns with playing him so much. I mean, we play Bournemouth on the weekend. So is Bruno Højlund, Maz, Lissandro, all these guys going to be dropped for that game as well? You know, December is a killer, man, for players. Honestly, the fixture congestion involved is madness. And then that front three has obviously never played together either. So where's the cohesion going to be with that? Where's the connection? Anthony as a wing back, I actually don't mind because I like those combinations with Ahmad. I was interested, but in that front three, I think he's going to let you down today. I do. I think we'll get into important areas. Watch someone clip this up when Anthony scores something. But I think we will get into important areas, and I think, and I'm a bit worried about that. Rasmus, interesting. Obviously, if Spurs do play with a high line, they are going to be very open at the back, so we'll have to wait and see what happens there. And then Bruno is the captain. He always seems to play regardless. He's got a lot of energy. So Bruno, I don't really worry myself too much about him because it's Bruno, isn't it? He seems fine majority of games. Sometimes he loses his head. But if we look at some interesting developments on Marcus Rashford. On Manchester United's bench, we've got Onana, Evans, Maguire, Malacia, Casemiro, Mainu, Ahmad, Garnacho, and Xerxes. So some really, talented players that you can bring off there. But then I'm sat there looking at it. I'm like, if you've got Malacia on there, surely you could have put Dallo over on the right-hand side, rested Masraoui, and brought in Malacia. Could you not? Would anyone have had an issue with that, personally? It's bizarre, isn't it? So the breaking news actually coming in, which is, you can say it's a surprise, you can say it's not, I don't know. Marcus Rashford is fit, but not selected by Ruben Amorim again for tonight's game against Tottenham. So he's just not in the squad. I'm guessing it's to do with that interview. I'm pretty sure, obviously, he's not happy with that. He got asked about that in the press conference, and they said to him, if that was you as a player, and they said this to you, or there was a bit of a disagreement behind the scenes, or they said that they want to move you on. Would you have gone public with it, or would you have gone and spoken to a manager? And Amorim said, "Well, if it was me, I would have just spoken to the manager." So it kind of tells you where he's at. He's never gonna put it out there that he's gonna grill him, and I'm really upset with him because you know what the media are gonna do. They're gonna pinch onto those lines and they're gonna stretch it as much as they possibly can. So he's kept it coy on that one, and I have no issue with that whatsoever. But I'm pretty sure he'd be pretty livid behind the scenes with what's going on. He's just come into the job. You don't need no drama. You don't need, the whole narrative coming into this game was all about Marcus Rashford. If anyone watched the press conference, it was literally every single question was about Marcus Rashford. Every single question. What about this? Well, if you did, what about that? Well, none of them was about, what do you think about Spurs? Where can you hurt him? How do you think Postecoglou's getting on? Do you think his style is sustainable? Those kind of what journalists should be asking. It was the Marcus Rashford show. That's all it was. So, am I surprised that he's been dropped again? Absolutely not. No. I'm just surprised. Other people are surprised, to be honest with you. DeLitt, I don't know what's going on with him. I think he's got an illness or something along the lines of that, which is, I would have liked to have seen DeLitt in today's game. I thought he had a good game. I think he's been good for a good few weeks, to be fair. He's been a bit of an unsung hero. I'm trying to find Tottenham's team. Let me have a look. Because then I can really analyse this game going into it. Amorim's just been asked why Rashford is not in the squad. He said, selection. I chose the players that looked ready to cope with the demands of playing a strong game. Very strong words. On Alejandro Garnacho's return, he said he's prepared to play the game. I really like the way he trained. It's one more option for the offence. He's not starting though, is he? Every game we play is really important because it is a message for our fans. They've put a 3-4-2-1 graphic up there. We know what Amorim plays by now. Come on, we don't need no fucking graphics. Go on, I've got them on the screen if you want graphics. Jesus. Selection. He's just purely not selected him, but Garnacho's back in the team, so I think that tells you a lot about his future. Right, let's see what everyone's saying. Let's go to the comments. Please do smash the like in the video and subscribe to the channel because we are, let me double check, 9,553 subs we are currently on. So if there is anyone new and you enjoy football content, 2 lives a day, previews, loads of stuff on the channel, then please do hit that subscribe button. It takes 2 seconds of your time, and not everybody does it. Andy Williams, that lineup is sticky. James McGogan, haven't seen it. Relying on Nick and Co for that information this evening. Maz could play anywhere, probably even in net. Oh, no doubt about that, mate, at all. Ericsson started at Ipswich. Oh, so did he start in that game? Did he? I'm going to have to check that out. Man United versus Ipswich. I'm not saying you're wrong. I can't remember being in the game. Yeah, he did as well. Alongside Casemiro. Probably why they drew the game, to be honest. Yeah, bizarre that. How long did he play for, though? Stats. Trying to see when he went off. Sorry, I'll be 2 seconds. 68th minute. So he played 68 minutes against Ipswich, and then he hasn't really played, has he? We haven't really seen him since then. So he's one I'm looking forward to. Obviously, an old club in Tottenham. You always have those kind of narratives. Well, I mean, whether it'll rev him up and twist his gears for this, I'm not entirely sure. Random guy saying, I'm worried for Majari. He's playing too many minutes. Agreed, Random. Obviously, we mentioned that UTFR's in the away end tonight. Enjoy the game, brother. They've gone with a strong 11 Spurs. Right, I'll go back to the comments in a minute. Let me get Spurs' team up because I want to see who they've gone with. Why do all teams, right, on X or whatever, when they release the news, they put like, they do it by number order sometimes, and they put like the goalkeeper first, and then the left back would be like at the bottom. People know what I'm on about. It's fucking well irritating. So, Fraser Forster in net, Pedro Porro, Dragison, Spence, Gray, Sarr, Basuma, Madison, Kulusevski, Solanke, and Son. Now, obviously, the front four is strong. Is very, very strong. But I'm thinking, who the fuck's playing in defence? Because they've got Pedro Porro, Dragison, Gray, and Spence. Is that your back four? Really? Is that what they're going with? If that is, that's a pretty weak back four, to be honest. That's interesting. I thought Archie Gray's a right back. Right? So then Pedro Porro's a right back. And then you got Jed Spence, who I'm pretty sure is a right back. So are they just playing a right back at centre back? If so, I mean, Pedro Porro going forward is great, but defensively, very suspect. Dragison, I'm not entirely convinced on him. He's not a Romero, and he's not a Van der Ven. Archie Gray, I've only seen bits of him. Saw more of him in the Championship. Jed Spence, I haven't seen for fucking God knows how long. Sarr and Basuma in the middle of the park will be an interesting battle with Ericsson and Ugarte. And Madison, Kulusevski, Solanke, and Son is a dangerous front four. That has got goals in him, and they can score against anyone. It's put 4 past Villa, put 4 past City. So that is a dangerous front four. And then you look at the back line, Lindelof, Yoro, Lissandro. Is that enough to deal with these blokes, do you think, these players? What do we think, people? They're as full strength as they can be. Yeah, the defence is shit, though, isn't it? You should be scoring against that defence. I'm so surprised Ahmad isn't starting. You keep playing him. He's in the form of his life. I'm with you, Nick. First time Anthony gets a chance, he'll let off a rash shot. That's a stand final. Why isn't Mainu and Casemiro starting? They should be fresh for the game. Only Amarin can answer those questions. One can only speculate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, we started with Cass. What midfield did we start versus Spurs last time? I will tell you right now. So, this is the last team. Lineups. We started with Onana, Majrari, De Ligt, Martinez, Dallo. We had Ugarte and Mainu in the midfield. And then we had Garnacho, Bruno, Rashford, and Xerxes against Spurs at Old Trafford when we lost. That was the starting lineup. I read somewhere Dallo quoting we need to be more aggressive in the final third, and I don't know if he did say that 100%, but I really do want to see Højlund making more of a handful of himself. Yeah, you know, physically impose yourself, scrap with the centre-backs, do what you're doing against Walker. Give them a challenge, you know. Ahmad against that backline would have been perfect. Mainu, Ugarte, Bruno started against Spurs. Yeah, what happened to Collier? I'm not sure. I think there's a few question marks going into this, but I mean, the games are coming that fast. It's hard to just stay on point in it and know what's going on. It's like the manager probably feels the same. It's this big whirlwind of games, just, you know, honestly. Ruben Amrin, the trophy we want to win in the future is the Premier League, and that's on my mind. That's very interesting. It seems like he's kind of giving himself a bit of an out if we do lose. Postecoglou just said United at home under the lights. I'm excited. Do we expect people a barn burner today? I really don't know. I'm like half thinking, oh, well, he is. It could be a bit cagey, but I'm thinking he could get like a 4-3 or a 3-4 out of this. I really think this game could open up, especially if there's a bit of an early goal. I can really, really see that. So, look, if it is, it is. Let's just... I think the attitude I would probably go in with this is, let's just fucking go at him. Let's just have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't go in there and be like, oh, a bit pragmatic. Oh, look at the front line. I don't really want to push forward with that. Sorry, I'm just putting my bet on as I'm speaking to you. I don't really want to push forward with that. It's a bit of a thing, they've got Son. Fuck that. Just go for it, mate. You're in a quarter-final. You're against Spurs. They've been shaky at the back. Let's just fucking have it. Let's just take it to him. Yeah, I'll put my bet slip in a minute because I want to know what people are thinking. Jason Galea. Geez, another United fan channel. But you know what? It is another one. But you have a variety of all things. How many ice creams are there in the world? How many burger places are there in the world? How many milkshake places are there in the world? How many shopping centres are there? It doesn't matter. You still have your M&S's and your your Asdas. With milkshakes, you got your strawberry, vanilla, whipped cream, the American milkshakes. You can still have a lot of stuff, but you can still have one of the best things. That's what's the important thing. Real people, authentic talk, real Reds talk. So you can come in with your, oh my God, another United fan channel. It might be saturated, but you don't need to fit in when you are custom made, my people. We ain't like any other United fan channel. It's full of, like, a majority of them are full of nonsense. So anyway, what is a barn burner? So a barn burner is basically where, like Spurs and Chelsea last week or the week before, whenever it was, when it was 4-3. That is a barn burner. Basically, when, it's just kind of end to end. There's loads of goals. Yeah. Am I the only one who's heard of that terminology? I don't know. Then yes, I would expect a barn burner. Thanks. Sorry, someone's already explained it. And we're welcoming Jason. Yeah, listen, any people are welcome. I'll say that. Even if you're a Liverpool fan, you're welcome. All fans are welcome because I like going back and forth on these kind of things. The reason why I like Jamie Carragher as a pundit is because he speaks the truth quite a lot that some fans don't want to hear. Obviously talk shit sometimes, but there won't be no red-tinted glasses. His punditry is quite, there's no bias at all involved in it. I think sometimes, actually, Gary Neville goes too far one way. Sometimes he'll talk about the other club a lot more than he would United, and it's like, hold on a minute. You play for United for, 20-plus years. What? Why are you so unbiased? I get it, have a balanced opinion, but I think he goes a bit too far sometimes, Gary Neville, for me personally. Yeah. I'm excited for this game now. I'm thinking, we could have a 4-3 last-minute winner, United. Obviously, we're still on a high at the derby. Does everyone in general feel like we're going to win this game? Does everyone feel positive, or has that lineup there kind of took the wind out of your sails a little bit? How are we feeling? I think, I don't know why, it's kind of random positivity about Minaj. I think, yeah, why? Go smash him. And usually, anyone who knows me, when I make my predictions, I'll always be a bit pragmatic in them. I mean, when me and Chivy did the preview, I'm pretty sure I said 1-1 or Saxy Spurs maybe winning it. I actually can't remember what I said, but I don't know. I think we can go win this. I think so. I think we can be aggressive. I think he's going to look to keep hold of the ball and make Spurs work for it. But I think Spurs, especially from the front four, are really good in the way they press. They are very energetic. They play fluid, attacking football. So it all depends on what Spurs turns up. I want us to stink the place out and bring on subs to change the game second half. Playing 5 defenders can help Eriksen play further up the pitch. Lineup deflated me a bit. Yes, 3-1 United. Hoyland with a brace. Bruno got a yellow for a decent. We'll do the betting slip shortly. Don't worry too much about that. Yeah, I mean, both squads, it's not the strongest squads from either side, is it? But one thing I will say is, I know it's the Carabao Cup. Some people don't see it as, an important trophy or what have you. It's obviously the bottom of the pecking order when you talk. It's probably Prem, Europa, FA Cup, and then the Carabao Cup at the bottom, and then the Charity Shield. That's the way I see it, at least. If you're talking about Premier League and Champions League, that's, you know, it's a conversation to be had. But I think Prem, Europa, FA Cup, and then the Carabao Cup. If we win the Carabao Cup, it's the best trophy you can win. That's the narrative I'm going to paint, at least. But my point is, it's one of those trophies where you win it, you're happy. Obviously, we won it under Eric Ten Hag, and it's a trophy, it's silverware. And I'd tell you what, if you ask a Spurs fan, they'd bite your fucking hand off for it. You ask an Arsenal fan now, they'll take a Carabao Cup, despite them, you know, being so competitive for the last 5 years. So it's a trophy to be won. You look at the teams that have gone through, it's going to be a difficult trophy to win. Arsenal have just beaten Crystal Palace, they're through to the semi-finals. You've got Liverpool, who beat Southampton, they're through to the semi-finals. I can't remember, what are the other games? Obviously, there's us and Tottenham. But then, I can't think who else is playing tonight. EFL Cup matches. Where's the fixtures? More matches. First round. I can't find him. Someone let me know in the chat, please. Who are the other team, man? Quarterfinal, there we go. Sorry, found it. Newcastle. See what I'm saying? That is a tough semi-final, that. Newcastle, Arsenal, and Liverpool all in there. You've got 3 stories there that you can go with. Newcastle, a repeat from the Carabao Cup final. Obviously, when we beat them 2-0. You've got Arsenal. The history with Arsenal is just, you know, obviously we played them recently as well, and we're playing them in the FA Cup. Imagine if we get him in the semis, and we play him in the FA Cup, and we've still got to play him in the league on top of that. That's 4 times in the season you played Arsenal. And then Liverpool, we play Liverpool at the start of January at Anfield. So they are all tough games, especially if they're away. Anfield, St. James's Park, and the Emirates are 3 of the toughest places to go in the UK. In my opinion, I think they all can be, you know, really, really difficult. So let's see. We've got to get past Spurs first. Let's see what Spurs turn up. But I'm excited to get into it. Nick, Rashford project is finally over. Certainly seems that way. I genuinely hope Anthony plays well. I do be easier to sell the turd. Chelsea are. Are they? I was looking at the quarterfinal. It says Newcastle beat Brentford 3-1. Arsenal beat Palace 3-2. Liverpool beat Southampton 2-1. And then it's Tottenham. Newcastle knocked Chelsea out, didn't they? I mean, that would have even been more difficult. You're playing Chelsea in there. Playing like the top 3 teams in the league. Top 4 teams in the league. Very, very difficult. Yeah. There you go. Right, let's go back to see if there's any more kind of quotes, comments coming out from the game. I'd imagine there was a bit more stuff from Marcus Rashford, but there's a lot of people online a bit mixed about the teams. A lot of people not happy. Listen, I'm not bothered. Let's just fucking go at him. If you need to bring players off the bench, it might be, someone referenced it before. You know, it might be a case of where it's a little bit not flat, but a little bit cagey for the first half. And you bring on Ahmad, you bring on Garnacho, and the game changes, and we're all talking about how Garnacho should be starting again, and Dada, and so on. There's many, many narratives, you know, how this game can go. Random saying, who do you think are the favourites to win the FA Cup and the Carabao? I say Chelsea for both. No, Chelsea are out. Chelsea are in the Carabao. So the favourites, it's got to be Liverpool for the Carabao Cup. The way they're playing at the moment, they are the best team in the league. As much as they just are. It's just facts. For the FA Cup, I'd have to have a look at the FA Cup fixtures. Let's see what big boys are still in there. Third round we're in at the minute. So what teams? Fulham, Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea, City. I've got Salford. That'd be an interesting game. To be fair, if that was at Salford, I'd probably go watch that. Tottenham. United have got Arsenal, of course. I don't know why, and people might not like me for saying this. I think Liverpool are favourites to Carabao, but I also think I think Arsenal might win a cup this season. Just a gut feeling. I think Andy Williams just said the exact same as me. Yeah, I can see it. I can see Arsenal. I don't know what it is. It's just something I just feel like Yeah, I just feel like they're going to win it. James McGoggin, thoughts on Garnacho to Atletico, Nick? Also, just for conversation's sake, what are your odds on Marcus going to Italy as Scotty's flying and that will caught Rashford's eye, surely? So, a couple of things on that. Garnacho to Atletico Madrid, I think it's someone looking for a story, to be honest with you. I don't know why Atletico would sign. They've got a couple of exciting attacking players there. I don't think they would sign Garnacho, personally. I mean, I think there's probably something in it that he wants to go back to Madrid. I think there's definitely something in that. So I don't know how that will come to surface. I think there's truth in that. But I think in that case, people are just putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. So I don't see Garnacho leaving anytime soon, personally. On Rashford to Italy, it's simply a financial thing, mate. I don't know how many clubs in Italy can afford his wages, to be honest with you. I just don't. I don't know how. Like, what team's going to play £365,000 a week? I just don't see it. Really don't see it. Scott happened at Napoli because he was 25 million plus whatever little add-ons you want to include, but also his wages. He was on about 60, 70k a week at Man United, and United wanted to push through a sale. So, and you've heard recently that Ten Hag wanted to keep McTominay. So that happened because it was an easier deal to do. Napoli, despite what they're like when they're selling players, my God, like they want the absolute world from you. I remember Koulibaly, when United went in for him, he was asking for 120 million. You're like, are you joking? Victor Osimhen, 140 million. Kvaratskhelia, they mentioned £100 million, who I love him as a player. I would take him at United. But Napoli, I don't think, spend shitloads of money. Certainly not more than £70 million on a player, from what I can remember. So, Rashford to Napoli, I can't see. I could see him doing well in Italy. It's just a club that would take him. It's up to Marcus. If Marcus is willing to take a wage cut and, let's say, drop down from, to £200,000 a week or 150k a week, then maybe. But are you telling me a man is going to, for the sake of it, especially Marcus Rashford, turn around and go, do you know what? I'll lose out on 200 grand a week to move to another club. Don't see it. Don't see it at all. I'm not saying he's all about the money, because he did have other offers that he'd spoken about, when he was just about to sign new contracts or whatever. But I don't see him paying that much. Really, really don't. I'd be happy if he did, because one, he'd go off, he'd probably smash it there, and he'd do well, and it's not going to come back to bite us. He's not staying in the Premier League. 2, you get a lot of money, well, not a lot of money, but you get a decent amount of money, 40, 50 million, let's say, roughly, which is all pure profit and you can re-spend. And then 3, all his wages off the bills is massive for PSR. We are touching very close with PSR in a minute. I don't know if anyone's read into the financial kind of reports, but it is very, very close. Like, teeter on the edge when you're going to get points deductions and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think that'd be super beneficial for that. But not just Marcus. There's a few players that, Casemiro's one who's he's not really a starter in the team now, is he? He comes in every now and then. But he's on 350 grand a week, or 300 grand a week, I think. Mason Mount's on 270. I love Mason Mount, but the guy's always injured. If they've been ruthless, clearly, with Marcus Rashford. I know Amarin likes Mount, but if he keeps having these injury problems, I mean, Mason Mount has missed 30 games already for United, and he signed last summer. Just deep that. That is crazy. 30 games. Madness. He's got to take a pay cut to go anywhere, though, unless it's Saudi. Yeah, I don't think he goes Saudi, though, either. If somebody offered 70 or 80 mil, would you take it for Garnacho? Oh, Andy, you're asking difficult questions here, mate. No. Oh, I don't know. I'll say no, because I do think he's a talented boy, and I think in a few years' time you'll get that, if not more, anyway. So why not hold on to it for a couple of years, and then the inevitable happens when he goes to a Madrid or whatever. Well, I don't think he'll go to Madrid, because they've got enough young wingers there, aren't they? They're all right with Mbappe, Rodrigo, and Vinicius, funnily enough. That Spurs team looks dangerous. The front 4 certainly does, and I like the midfield, but the back 4, that is, them chefs where you wear an apron and their ass is out at the back. That is Spurs tonight. Ghost of Tom Hanks. Anthony gets his Brazilian passport tonight. Brace incoming. That is a big shout from Ghost of Tom Hanks. A big, big shout. Now, I'm going to level with you people. Honesty is the best policy, and I've always been honest with a lot of yous. And I will directly look into the camera when I'm saying this. I currently have a bar burrito that is sat in that room, and it's gone cold. Okay? Just so if we can emotionally connect on that for a second. If any of you guys have had food there before, or you're halfway through a game, or you're doing something, imagine, take yourself back, right? You're young. Your mum goes, tea's ready. Yeah, I'll be there in a minute. Da, da, da. You know, you're playing your game. And then you go downstairs. You've got to microwave it. And it's just not the same, is it? It's not the same. I'm going to level with you people. I've got a bar burrito sat. It's going cold. The game kicks off soon. Would you be as kind if I was to leave you guys to go and watch it? I'll let you decide. I'm not trying to emotionally, manipulate you or anything. But I'm just saying, it's never the same reheated, Andy. It's not. That's my point. And also, if you have a bar burrito, do you heat it in the microwave or do you reheat it in the air fryer? What's your take on that? Because I don't like. Ghost of Tom. Ghost of Tom Hanks saying, "Go on, mate. You're allowed. Go on. You go eat it." I feel bad though, because usually there's another 15 minutes. Let's go quick before it gets colder. It's already cold, isn't it? All right, Chivy. All right. Cheers for reminding us. Right, let's get betting slips in then. I'll definitely do that before I head off. So, talk to me, people. Give me 3 or 4 things that you see happening in this game tonight. So, I'm going to write mine down. Can I write mine down and put it on the screen? I need to start putting these on the screen. Maybe I could do a quick graphic if I'm talented enough. Think, United versus Tottenham. There's a lot of changes in there. What do we think? Alright, I'm going to quickly write mine down and I'm going to put them on the screen, if possible. Let's get rid of all these. I want to hear some decent shouts, people. Yellow cards, assists, goals, any controversial moments, VAR, penalties, clean sheets at all. Get rid of that. There we go. Get rid of that. Right. Let's do. Okay. Spurs versus Man United. So, 4 things. What should we go with? Right, so I'll say both teams to score. I'll go. I think their front four is really dangerous, so I think it's inevitable one of the back 3 get a yellow card. So I'll go Lissandro. By the way, if people put this bet on and it comes in, I want money. Also, if it doesn't come in, I'm not going to give you any money. Two-way street, they say. Who scores for us or gets a goal or assist? That front line with Anthony in it just does not. I'll say Bruno because I think there could be a penalty in this. So Bruno to score or assist. Oh, shit. And then the bonus one, which is a bit of a random one. I think Son to have 2 shots on target. Okay. If we can do a bit of line spacing. Not let spacing. Line spacing. Jesus. Never mind. Right. So. This is why you don't do graphics whilst you're live. Sorry, people. This is the main event of the evening. I've done video. Fuck off. I need a PNG, not a video. Okay, so we shall get rid of this. Sorry, it's taken about 9 years. Okay, because everyone knows the starting lineup now. No one needs to know it, do they? Unless you just join in. And we shall put this on the screen. I mean, my burrito's definitely fucking cold now, if it wasn't anyway. There is my betting slip, people, for today. Both teams. I mean, that just looks mad, doesn't it? Come on, go up there. Right, there we go. I'm happy with that. Both teams to score. Lissandro, yellow. Bruno to score or assist. Son to have 2 shots on target. That's what I'm going with. What are we saying? Anthony Brace, Onana, mandatory mistake. Will give away a pen, Onana. Oh, yeah, Onana's on the bench. Oh, of course he is. He'll come on and make a mistake. Euro to score is a wild card. Is a wild card. Mine is also going cold. Please, sorry, that's from a girlfriend. Okay, I'm going on my way. Sorry. Spurs bring us back down to earth. Oh, can you bet on that? Martinez yellow. Ericsson to score and assist. Maddison to score a free kick. Dallo high five. I mean, you won't even get odds on that. That's going to happen. Bruno yellow. Ugarte yellow. Some great shouts in there. Let's see who is correct. Let's see who gets it spot on. If this comes in now, you all owe me 100 quid, yeah? Deal. I'll see you after the game. Me and Sam will be doing the post-match review, as always, as soon as the game is finished. So make sure you come and join us. I want as many people in there as possible. And hopefully we are through to the semi-final and we've all got a giant smile on our face. I'm going to go eat my burrito. You lot enjoy the game, whatever you're doing for it. UTFR, enjoy it in the away end. And I'll chat to you soon.